Here's $5. Go watch a Star War. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Set 5 of Datacrons are here, which means half of the people who watch my channel normally are not going to click on this because they hate Datacrons, and I don't really blame them. However, we need to, I want to help you guys determine what you're going to farm in this new conquest, which you may or may like, or not like, or feel neutral to. You might feel partial to it. You may feel impartial. There's all kinds of mixing and matching going on here, folks, and this set is pretty much the same. The mechanics of it, not that interesting. If you don't have Jabba, if you don't have Supreme Leader Kylo, if you don't have Phasma, not really that interesting. But we're going to look at the mechanics, I'll show you guys the stats, and hopefully we can get you out of here without too much pain. A little bit of pain is mandatory. Now, we are doing set 5. We have an infographic. It's on my video. It's in the video description, linked in the Discord server. I kind of said that backwards, but go to the Discord server. It is in the channel called Infographics, if you didn't know that, so it's pretty cool that that's there. You guys can get it for free. Be the hero that your guild needs. It's wonderful. Be the hero that I need, and like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Please, guys, help me mount the algorithm. I rely on you, and you, just the same as you rely on me and my sarcasm and things of that nature. So, let's go to the infographic. Whoa, madness. We are so zoomed in. Let's go to the infographic and talk about it for a minute, just so you guys understand what's going on here. So let's let me show you the full graphic first, and we're not going to stick the whole time here. So the way it is this time, the stats are probably more important than a lot of the mechanics, and a lot of teams really love the stats, and so we're going to talk about the stats more than probably the rest of it. However, there are a couple different teams that you're going to be targeting, especially level 3. There's not only a couple choices that you're actually going to want to do. So the top left are the level 3 choices. So, and then we have set 5. I have all the extremely relevant, like distilled down data from set 4 in the bottom left as well. And then we have all of the different teams. I mean, it's not every team, but it's generalized teams to help you figure out which stats you want to be kind of gunning for, if possible. There you'll note that there's only a few stats here that you really, not a ton of teams really want that, anything too different. It's, I don't know if it's boring or what, guys, but one way or another, that's how it is. So, yeah, let's zoom it in real quick here. So, yeah, for level 3, I mean, there's a couple things that are like, well, sometimes you kind of want tenacity up and potency up in your level 3. You know, that's kind of cool. Or the Night Sisters. Those two aren't terrible, but overall, I mean, it's dark side, and it's very difficult to get better than this special ability gaining you 15% turn meter. Like, that's going to make a lot of your squads a lot faster. Now, a notable exception to that is going to be Supreme Leader Kylo. You do not want to use that on Supreme Leader Kylo's team, because you'll just melt your team based on his unique, which you guys can read if you're literate. And if you're not literate, go ask your dad or your mom or whoever. Just ask yourself. Ask yourself, what does your heart tell you? Usually the best way to go, folks. Follow your heart and your nose. Set 5, specific stuff, guys. So really, you're only looking at the level 9 for Supreme Leader Kylo, and really, you want Hux for that one. The other two are okay. In fact, let's go to the game and just look at all this stuff, guys. You can see set 4 specifics. We've already gone over that. There's other videos for that. You guys can look, but I wanted it's relevant, so I wanted you guys to be able to see. And I added the Inquisition one, by the way, the turn meter Inquisition. Number 6, it's really important. And then the best stats, you guys can look at this on your own time. I think I added all the relevant teams, well, not all of them, really, but a lot of relevant teams. I think Jabba's one that I left off, which is a fairly egregious thing, but not many people have Jabba, so, you know, you'll be okay. If I have more than 1,500 people complain to me about it, I'll know one of you is full of crap, alright? That's it. So let's go to the game. I think that that's going to be the best way to actually learn about all this stuff. Okay, so here we are. Whoa, we're in the game. Madness. So here it is, guys. Set 5. All very exciting. It's the same colors as set 1. So there's that. They're recycling it. This is called projecting power. It's like we're trying to show that we're powerful without actually being powerful or something. It expires in 111 days. Dear Lord, guys. Alright, so first order, it's bounty hunters. And I was excited about this, except really there's nothing good here. So alignment level 3. I mean, really, it looked like the top one was going to be good for Night Sisters. It's not really, because the Night Sisters are going to... it's not every time someone dies. It's just the first time that specific character dies. So like zombie dies 7 times, you only get the benefit once. And if your old Daka never dies, then your whole team only ends up with a little extra offense and speed, you know, with only 4 instances of that adding on to it. So, you know, 60% offense isn't terrible, but, I mean, yeah, Night Sisters might work. All the other teams, that's pretty awful for all the other teams, folks. Like, maybe you could make an argument for, like, Geos or something weird like that, because your Brute is going to die, but hopefully no one else dies. I guess you could do Jedi if you're fatalistic and you're like, Jolie will save me. However, the next one, so whenever they're buffed, whenever buffs are debuffs are dispelled, buffs or debuffs are dispelled from dark side allies, at the end of that turn, they gain tenacity up and potency up for 2 turns. I mean, that's decent. I mean, that's okay. The thing is, so it has to be dispelled. It's not just like expired. It has to be dispelled. So you have a limited number of teams or characters that actually matters. I mean, like, for instance, if you have Wampa, he's probably just going so much that he's not having anything dispelled, so he's not going to get potency up or tenacity up. Like, that might work okay for Wampa, to be honest, but for the most part, this is kind of like, this is weird. I mean, like, Jedi Training Rey might work, but you're just relying on other people to buff or debuff you. It's kind of a situational weird thing. And, I mean, almost always you're going to just want this 15% turn meter. Like, we're totally ignoring the one above it because it's awful. And the one below it, it looks okay. Like, if you want to build your Lord Vader cron after the current Lord, like, set 4 expires, then I guess you could build it using this one. If you see this one and you want to grab it for Lord Vader in a couple months, this is pretty good, actually. The you know, whenever he gains, like, protection up, all the stacking, it's good. You don't have to have all the turn meter. I think Lord Vader probably really likes this one. He likes his own personal datacrons better, though, folks, so don't do that yet. This one plus health steal is going to make Lord Vader relevant once again, forever and ever, guys. Okay, so faction, he said, so we have first order. Nothing interesting, guys, really. So on a Supreme Leader Kylo team, whenever you have advantage, you can't be crit, right? And same with Phasma. I think that's how it works. And so, whenever they're critically hit, they gain 10% crit damage. But they're gonna have advantage most of the time. So I don't know if they're getting hit crit too often, and it's not Supreme Leader Kylo, they're probably screwed. And if it's Supreme Leader Kylo, you're gonna have the advantage that just regrows every time it's dispelled anyway, so you're not going to get crits on that team very often. Anyways, like, this is a pretty worthless one. The next one, I like this one as well as any. Like, none of them are very good, folks. If they're not taking damage the last turn, offense up and crit chance up, I mean, that's okay. If they haven't taken damage, I guess that's fine. I mean, whenever first order allies stun an enemy, they gain speed up and offense up. I like this speed up and offense up one, guys. I think you get a pretty strong, like, this is a great one for Supreme Leader Kylo's the Datacron, because he's going to be stunning most people if you can. Yeah, so he's going to gain speed up and offense up, both of which he really likes. Inflicts expose. It's like, yay, you get this guy hit by Supreme Leader Kylo, and you got exposed. You're crazy, man. That is nuts. At the start of the battle, First Order allies gain retribution for 3 turns, which can't be dispelled. I kind of like this one as well. Like, you just... the thing is, if you're using Supreme Leader Kylo with Hux as the main Datacron, then the retribution for 3 turns, I mean, you already kind of have it anyways with the with the thing and the stuff that the guy provides. The Hux. Hux and his special ability, whatever it is, domination, or that's probably not that, but I mean, retribution seems pretty good, at least. Let's see. So the first time of each first order ally falls below 50% health, they gain damage made. Like this is the level of folly, right? Like this is like old school CG, like way back in the day. It's like, oh yeah, it's like some characters actually went below 50% health and lived to tell about it. Like, I don't know, falls below 50% health, they gain damage immunity. I guess that's okay, except if they're below 50%, I guess if you hit them really hard and they just like suddenly go to, like, this is okay, damage immunity, that's okay. That's kind of like a pseudo ray effect, I suppose. This is okay. I kind of disdained it the first time I saw it. This one's fine, though, actually. Infographic might not say anything about this one. This one's okay. This is like you have Ray on your team. It's fine. You have to have all Relic 5 characters for this. In First Order, it's very limited, but it's okay. And then whenever a debuff on an enemy expires, you gain extra offense. That's cool. So how many debuffs are you really applying as First Order? That's the question. Like, a few. Not many. Bounty Hunters are pretty similar here, guys. Okay, so, hey, look at that. Whenever they inflict a debuff, which isn't too often, they also have half a 50% chance to inflict damage over time. Like, how much do they care about damage over time effects? It's not, that doesn't drive anything, guys. At the start of each Bounty Hunter's ally's turn, I mean, none of these are interesting, guys. The Retribution one is the most interesting by far to me. And then I guess you can have like the Ray effect here as well. Those two are probably the two best. The rest of them are okay-ish. I don't know. We'll have to see. The thing is about this set is, like set 4, we keep finding new combos and stuff. So I'll probably put out a video at some point reprimanding myself for my lackluster analysis here. But until then, Jabba, the one you really want to get if you have Jabba, is the one with... turn meter. Whenever other allies use special abilities on their turn, then he gains 15% turn meter. He's going to take a lot of turns, guys. He already takes a lot of turns. But so combine that with the other one where he gains turn meter for when he uses a special. He's a very slithery hut. He's slithering all over the place. He's not Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff, obviously, but he is Slytherin, for sure. Now, Supreme Leader Kylo, these are okay. I guess if you're not using Hux on the team, then you may as well do the Reflect one, because this one requires First Order specifically. This one appeals to me on the top a little bit more, but really, if you can, get the Hux one. And otherwise, I mean, you're basically gonna want to, like, not care about the stat or about these mechanics and just go for stats anyways. First Order Stormtrooper is worthless. Hux is the one that you want for your Supreme Leader Kylo team if you're going for full First Order. If you're going with Supreme Leader Kylo plus Night Sisters, then you want, like I said, that Retribution one, whatever it is, the reflecting damage. Now, Captain Phasma, this one, man, for Territory Wars, amazing. Really, really good stuff, guys. Sith Trooper. I mean, if you have just a team randomly without any other, like, this is, I guess, okay. I mean, he can fit into other teams, but it's like a 20% chance to gain defense penetration for 1 turn. Like, this is like a nothing. This does nothing. It's worthless. It's stupid. It's folly. At the start of his turn, dispel all debuffs on him. It's worthless. Embo, this one looks kind of interesting, I guess, but I don't know what are you using Embo for? You're putting him on Jabba? Then get the Jabba Datacron. If he's not on Jabba, then it's probably a worthless squad, and this one is not as interesting as it looks. Greedo. So whenever another ally is defeated, he takes a bonus turn, and the cooldowns are reset. I mean, that's okay. Except if you lose an ally on a team with Greedo in it, it's probably a worthless team, and you probably are, like, this probably doesn't move the needle that much. You're like, oh crap, I lost Bosk, I lost a good taunt, that's a good tank. Maybe Greedo will save us. Aura Sing, this one looks okay in this context of like, well, you have a random bounty hunter team that isn't Jabba. This is okay because Aura is going to gain a little bit of damage over time. Like, this isn't great, but okay. Cad Bane is probably the most interesting one just because he gains a lot of extra damage because of the relic amplifier levels. If you have a fully relic team, I mean, at the very minimum, you're going to have, what, 25 relic levels? And, you know, so that's over 100% damage. He's going to be, you know, okay, I suppose. Crusader's not that good either, folks. So the stats are what's most interesting. You guys can see what I was getting at when I made the infographic. So the big thing here, guys, is the return of Health Steal. Health Steal is back, and it's not that worthwhile for smaller, worse, like less resilient characters than Galactic Legends or like maybe like Malgus or whatever. Like characters that have a lot of health and can regenerate on a plausible level. So like Rey really loves Health Steal. You know, Lord Vader, he's going to love that Health Steal, man. Armor goes really well with Health Steal, actually, because they're not going to do as much damage to you. And with the damage that they do, then you can regrow that damage. Critical damage, it looks pretty fancy, guys. But the problem is, there's going to be so much crit avoid on the things that you really want to hit hard that crit damage can be negated. Like, it's like, well, if you can crit, then this is awesome. Tenacity and Potency have a huge number of uses, actually, guys, and these numbers are crazy big. Tenacity and Potency, you only really need a little bit of a boost on a couple different teams, and you're really doing a lot of cool stuff, like being able to put a lot of potency onto your General Skywalker team, for instance, which isn't in the infographic. That's just a free little tidbit for you guys. A tidbit. Oh, Zareth wandering about distributing tidbits. It's no basis for a strategy, but here's the thing, guys. Potency on a General Skywalker team, really, really underrated because you can get that days off really easily, even against teams like Commander Luke, who really have high tenacity normally. However, if you have your Commander Luke with a huge amount of tenacity, then you can counter the General Skywalker's potency. And it's really kind of an interesting interplay there, folks. The protection, typically you're going to want health just because there's so many different mechanics out there now that provide, you know, protection up, which is based on health, or you just want to not die, which is also a laudable thing. You know, armor is really nice, of course. It's been a little bit toned down, is what I hear. I don't remember what the stats were from set 3, actually, even though we could probably look at them. You can still get a pretty high armor value, guys. Overall, the stats are probably what you're going to want to reroll most after you get the first couple really good data crons. Like, you know, the Phasma one is probably necessary for Territory War. It's not going to be good in GAC, really, most likely, or at least it's not going to be Transcendent. And then after you get, you know, Jabba and Kylo or whatever, if you have them, you can just call it good. You don't have to do anything else, guys. That's basically it. Like, call the mechanics good. The middle ones, the level 6s, probably don't matter that much. Level 3s are going to matter a lot just for your you know, your full dark side teams, because you're getting all this extra turn meter, making them fast. But otherwise, guys, I mean, the stats are where the damage is, and that's what you're really going to want to be paying attention to. It's going to affect a lot of light side and dark side compositions quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to see all the nonsense that is going to transpire. So, anyways, guys, I mean, yeah, I keep wanting to go, but just the small amount, just even a little nudge of potency or tenacity on the lower levels, man, it makes a huge difference in your overall output. Same with you know, a little bit of health or protection. It can really boost you quite a bit. So that being said, I think it's time that we go, folks. Let me know what your thoughts are. What are you looking for in this new set? I hope that this set is not nearly as asininely crafted as set 4. Let me know though, folks. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Want to hear them. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth prevails.